All right, today we're going to talk about what is your customer lifetime value and how to maximize or increase your customer lifetime value. Now, I've got some notes here because I want to make sure I cover this topic really well because I'm really shocked by how many small businesses don't understand this. Now, let me tell you, my content on my channel, the reason I decided to start a YouTube channel, one of the main reasons is because I want to see more people having success. I want to see more people growing their businesses, starting businesses, growing their businesses, and growing their income ultimately. I want to be able to help you make more money the easiest way possible, and I want to be able to use the skills that I have as an entrepreneur to be able to help you because I believe that this planet is full of good people. And I believe that there's a lot more good people that need to be making a lot more money, that are going to do really good things with the income that they earn. That is a fundamental foundational belief that I have, and I want to do my part to be able to help that happen. So today, when I talk about customer lifetime value, this is something that almost every small business needs to understand. Every small business owner needs to understand. I don't care if you're just literally doing garage selling arbitrage. If you don't know what that is, it's how you can buy products in one place and be able to sell them in another for a profit. I'm planning to have a lady on this channel who's been doing that very successfully as kind of a side hustle. So if you want to make sure you don't miss that type of content, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. So I don't care if you have a business like that. I don't care if you have a small holiday catering business, if you're a handyman or a contractor, or you're a landscaper, or if you're running a much larger business and you've got 5, 10, 20 employees. You definitely have to understand your lifetime customer value. That metric right there is one of the single most important metrics for your entire business that's going to really determine how successful your business is going to be. In fact, your lifetime customer value, being able to increase that is probably the easiest, simplest thing you can do to 2x or even 10x your business profits. So let's talk about that for a moment. First of all, what is your customer value? So your lifetime customer value, that's important. Your lifetime customer value, that's how much money that you earn in profit from your customers. So in the simplest terms, you need to know how much it costs you to get a customer. Let's just say that you market a product. Let's keep it simple. Say you market a product or a service that costs $100 and it costs you $50 in advertising to be able to get that customer. If that customer spends $100 with you one time only, and it costs you $50 to get the customer, then you made up $50. That customer has a $50 lifetime value because it cost you $100. You spent $50 to get the customer. You spent $50 in advertising, administration, whatever to get the customer. You profited another $50. That $50 is a lifetime customer value. Now let's say the same customer spends $100 with you. It costs you $50 to get the customer. They spend $100, you profit $50, but later the customer comes back and buys something that's $100 again. Now that customer's lifetime value is $150. In your business, you want to have some idea what is your average customer lifetime value. So customer lifetime value, that's important that you understand that. What does it cost to get the customer? What do you earn from the customer? Okay? It's not that difficult, but I'm shocked how many people I've asked people before. So what is your average customer lifetime value? And they have like zero clue. Like they glaze over. Like, huh? What? If you understand that, now the question is, how do you increase that customer lifetime value? Now, ironically enough, when we talk about customer lifetime value, it's almost like customer lifetime earnings is the way we think about it, or customer lifetime profits is one way to think about it. And I'm keeping it simple because I just want you to understand the basic concepts. With that being said, lifetime customer value, it's also lifetime business value to the customer. The more value that you can cost effectively provide to your customers, the higher the profits are going to be. Do you understand that? Like lifetime customer value is a two-way street. That's what I'm getting at. Once you understand the cost of getting a customer, the next question is, and by the way, for most businesses, the most expensive thing in their business will be customer acquisition. There's a lot of little guerrilla marketing techniques you can do to be able to grow a business. Like I know landscapers and contractors who will put out like bandit signs and flyers and stuff like that. That's really kind of guerrilla marketing. I know insurance agents and financial advisors that they build their business initially, realtors build their business initially off of a referral base off of who they know. That's a free way, essentially, basically free, to be able to generate customers. So there's a lot of low cost things you can do. But most businesses, when they go through and they want to start expanding or automate some of their marketing, it gets very, very expensive very, very quickly. That's why you should never overlook some of the guerrilla marketing techniques. In fact, that's a good idea for a video. I need to write that down. That video is going to be coming. So here's the thing. You need to recognize how much you're spending to get customers. If you're spending $100 to get a customer who you only earn $90 from, then you're going to eventually go out of business. And there's a lot of businesses doing that and they don't realize it, or they do it for a season and they don't realize it. So how can you maximize or increase the value from the customers? I'm going to do a tutorial where I'm going to show you some very specific strategies, because part of it comes down to relationship. That is the single biggest thing, is relationship. And I've got some things I want to be able to show you more on my computer, how you can kind of create good relationship with your customers through how you communicate with your customers. But that's going to be coming up. That's more advanced for this video. So that'll be in a later video. But here's the thing, stick with me. The number one way I told you to be able to increase customer profitability from a customer, the profits you earn, is by providing value in a very cost-effective way. But a lot of businesses don't understand that value is not just more products and more services. A lot of times value is the relationship built with the customer. There's just not enough businesses, and you know this, there's not enough businesses in this world that truly appreciate good customer service. I know a buddy of mine who opened a small retail business, and his business really exploded because of him. Because when people came in, they felt connected to him. They liked him. He was started out as a guy behind the counter, right? And so they liked him. In fact, he tracked his sales very well, and he noticed that when he did not work and he had an employee working behind the counter, sales went down. And he tracked it to how much the customers were spending. Customers spent more money in the store when he was working. And it's not because he was good at sales or promoting the products, because he wasn't good. That was his weakness. It was because they enjoyed talking to him, getting to know him. And they always would want to, when they were sitting there talking, they would end up coming back and buying more. People would stop in the store to say, hey, I'm on my way home. Just wanted to say hi. Thought I'd pick up a couple of things. I mean, literally, people would stop in the store when he was working. They would come in and be like, oh, I hope you were working today. That's important for you to understand, especially if you have a small mom and pop business, like some sort of a storefront, or if you have a small landscaping business or a contractor business. You want to have a good relationship with your customers. It's not just good enough that you do really good work for those customers. You also want to have those customers to be able to like you and to love you. And likewise, you want to love your customers. You want to like your customers. Your customers are not just a dollar sign. They're clients, and clients become friends, and friends become family. You want to get close with your customers. Simple things like thank you cards, holiday cards, real relationships. I heard of a realtor who every year when she sold someone a house, she would do a Christmas party every year early in December, and she would have all of her friends who were contractors, painters, insurance agents in the area, and all of her customers. It would be a bit of a networking event. It was a really low stress, low key environment. She just invited them to a Christmas party, so it gave them kind of a chance to get together. Any of her customers who attended her Christmas party that year, of course, not all of them did, but any of the ones that did, they went on another list. Sorry, my eyes kind of twitching there. They went on another list, and they actually got invited the next year and the next year. And she's been growing this party every year. And this is just one little simple thing that she did. And I've got some more ideas and strategies I'm going to share with you, but this is just one thing that she did. The reason that she did it is because it helped create relationships. People remembered her when they liked her. She liked them. She cared about them. And when they wanted to buy a house, who did they go to? They went to her. Why? Because they had a good relationship with her. So you want to look at a couple of things. Relationship's the single biggest thing you can look at, but there's other options as well. One is, can you offer your customer something else that has a high perceived value? What do I mean by that? Well, can you offer them another product? Can you do something a little extra for them and charge them and still let them feel like they're getting a value? Here's another one. Can you raise your prices? I can't tell you how many businesses and business owners I've spoken to over the years. They simply don't charge enough for their products or services. Remember the gentleman I told you who had a retail storefront? One of the things I talked with him about, one of the things we discussed, that he needed to charge more for his products. And he didn't feel good charging more for his products because he knew that people could go online and buy his products cheaper. And he was right. But locally in his area, his prices were cheaper than everybody else's, which is fine, except it was hurting his ability to be able to market. It was hurting his ability to be able to provide better value for his customers. And it was hurting his ability to be able to make more money. He had a $500,000 loan he was paying off. A lot of small business owners, particularly if it's their first business or they're new business owners, they're used to making an hourly wage. So when they make an hourly wage, they kind of base their profitability or the hours they work on that hourly wage. Now, this can get you in all sorts of trouble. It can put you out of business. I mean, I've seen this happen so many times and it's unfortunate. But there's a lot of times people feel guilty about making money, or they feel like they don't need to be greedy. They just need to make so much money. I want you to understand something. If it's not about you putting more money in your pockets, then your profits are about you providing better customer service and better value for the customers and clients that you have. So please understand that. And a lot of times people have a belief that they either feel like they are not worth it, they shouldn't charge more than that, they feel they're price gouging. And I'm here to tell you, it's not about price gouging. It's not about price gouging at all. Let me just quickly share with you a couple of stories. So I know a landscaper, he did great work. When he quoted his job, materials at cost. He didn't make any money on the materials. He didn't mark the materials up at all. He passed along his contractor pricing. The only thing that he wanted to do was make about $30 an hour, and he was a landscaper. He wanted to make about $30 an hour. That was it. The problem with that is he can't do that for so long. I mean, he was talking about having to go get a job. Why? Because he needed benefits. Because he wasn't making enough money he wasn't understanding that when he got paid $20 an hour or whatever doing landscaping for a company and they were paying him benefits, he wasn't understanding that there's a cost to those benefits, for example. Plus, he as a business owner, he should have been able to grow and scale, hire employees, have a retirement. He didn't have any money for retirement. He felt like he wasn't any better off. He made more per hour, but he had a lot more stresses as the entrepreneur, as a business owner. I know another gentleman who was a contractor, did great work. I mean, good work, went above and beyond, was known for doing great work, but he always underbid his jobs. And this put him in a position where he was always hurting to get the next job. He was always hurting to get the next job. So he went through a down economy. And in that down economy, he went out of business. Now, I'm going to tell you something, that he landed a few jobs that paid really well. And when he did, he would bonus his workers. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to make certain that if you're going to bonus your employees, that you've got enough money put back to get you through the slow times. Otherwise, you don't lose your employees. Well, that's what happened. He eventually lost the business. And I was speaking with him and I said, you needed to raise your prices. And he said, but Jack, you don't understand. I'm not greedy. It's not just about the money. And I said, it's not about just the money. It's about you have customers that you're providing value to. Now you're not even able to service your customers. They call you. And if the job is more than what you can do, you can't take it on because you have no employees. The employees that you bonused with a good heart, good intention, trying to be a good employer, but you ended up having to lay all of them off, essentially fire them because you didn't have work for them because it slowed down. I said the whole idea was that you were profitable enough to get you through the winter. Maybe you had to lay off a few, but when I say winter, I mean like economic winter. Maybe you had to lay off a few, but you wouldn't have had to lay them all off, for example. So let's talk about some other ways that you can be able to increase profitability. Raise your prices. Sorry, one more. I got to share this with you because I think there's too many new business owners that miss this. I got one more good one to share with you. So I know a company who markets a product. They market a very similar product. One sells a product for $5,000 upfront. It's the whole kit and caboodle. It's $5,000. Another company came in thinking they were going to undercut. Literally, they sell access to the product is a type of service. They sell access to the same service for like $30 a month. So for $30 a month. And I know the business owner who started that business. I know some of the thought process. It's like, oh, I'm going to crush the competition. Nobody's going to be able to touch this. It's $30 a month, $30 a month. No one's going to be able to touch this. The problem is there's not a lot of profit in that $30 a month. The $30 is the better value. Every customer under the sun would prefer $30 a month versus the $5,000. Why? Because at 30, how long do you have to keep the product? You can get more than enough value. You need what? Let's just hypothetically, if it was 10 months, it's 300, 340. So that's 10 years basically that you could use the product. Is someone going to pay $5,000? Are they going to use it for 10 years? Probably not. But the company that was charging $30 a month went out of business. Why? Because their customer lifetime value was so low. They weren't getting enough value from their customers that they couldn't even do the advertising and marketing to create the awareness to even show people that, hey, our product is better. Our product is better, and it's a lot better because they were a small company. So they went out of business. Guess what? The company charging $5,000 for that exact same service has been around for like 20 plus years and will probably be around for the next decade or 2 decades or longer because they have a great profit margin. In other words, they have a good lifetime customer value. So how do you increase the lifetime customer value? You can increase prices. It comes down to maintaining a relationship. That's probably the easiest way because it's so easy to get your customers. If your customers like you and they like your business and they like your service and they like your brand, they feel comfortable with. If you offer another service, if you're a contractor and you primarily do, roofing, for example, and that's like your thing, you do roofing, and you decide, you know what, I'm tired of being on those hot roofs. We're going to start doing we're going to start doing interior painting or something. I'm just trying to give you a crazy example, but it would be very easy to go to all of your customers that you've been doing roofing for, and you have a good relationship with them. Say, hey, we've started expanding. We're doing some interior painting. Do you know of anyone who needs paint jobs? You could find work like that from those customers. All those previous customers, as long as they like your business, there are plenty of them that either they're going to tell you, hey, could you come quote me for this job at my house? Or they're going to call you and say, hey, my neighbor was talking about wanting to get their living room repainted. Could you, give them a quote? So the customer relationship is everything. And this is an area that most businesses can improve. So there's a few ways, simple ways that you can focus on relationship. Obviously, do a good job, care about the customer first and foremost. But communication is the big one. Communication with your customers. And there's a lot of people that teach this, but there's a lot of people that don't do it really well because they're short-sighted in their communication. Thank you card, sending a thank you card, creating an email list. I'm going to show you in an upcoming video how to do that because there's not enough businesses that know how to do that. Social media. Now, here's the key. If you're a small business owner, you're like, Jackie, I can't do email marketing. I don't even know how to do that. I can show you how to do email marketing. It's easy. Every business should have an email list. I don't care if you have a gas station on the road, you should have an email list. Every business should have an email list. But you're saying, Jackie, how can I do email marketing? How can I do social media? I don't understand, doing Facebook. I have a Facebook account, but I don't know how to do my business with it. I have an Instagram account, but I don't know how to do my business with it. Listen, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's Snapchat, there's blah, 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 blah. And there's going to be many more in years to come. You don't have to do them all. In fact, I recommend that you don't do them all. If there's one or two that you're familiar with, if you like Twitter, then share your Twitter account. Make sure people know about your Twitter account. If you like Facebook, make sure you have a business Facebook account. Make sure people know about your Facebook account. Always look for ways to get people to re-engage in your Facebook account. The only one I'm going to tell you that you absolutely should have is you absolutely should have an email list. But that email list, I'm going to teach you another video on how to do that. It's not just, you don't want to just be pitching sales pitches in an email list. You don't want to just tell them when the next sale is. I hate that. Text is a big thing. You can do that, a little bit of that as well. But I've got a company right now that all they ever send me is our next promotion, our next sale price. Oh, this is on sale today. This is on sale today. That gets annoying after a while. In fact, every time I get it, I'm like, I need to get rid of this. And I'm probably going to do it this week because I'm so tired of getting those texts almost every single day. I don't care about the fact that you keep wanting to sell me something. You see, the key with your communication is your customers need to know that you care. They need to know that you care about the service that you provide. And at the same time, they need to know that you're going to be there for a long time. and they need to know that you're always there. In other words, don't take it for granted because you did something for a customer 2 years ago that they're going to remember you now. Or just because you have a customer right now, let's say that you're an independent insurance agent and you've got a customer that's been paying you for 2 years. Don't take it for granted they're going to pay you for the next 2 years. When is the last time you had contact with that customer? Now, I absolutely believe that you should have contact by phone periodically with your customers, or you should have a customer service department that does that periodically. But as a small business owner or a solopreneur, you should absolutely be on the phone periodically with customers and clients. If it's just a simple voicemail, I don't mean a voice broadcast. If it's a simple voicemail, if you're a small business, that is the easiest way. So few people connect by voice. There are customers that want to connect with you. And if they just feel like you're a regular person just like them, who cares about the community, who cares about their yard, their house, whatever you're providing for them, if it's their insurance needs, the fact that you actually care enough about them to check on them, to see if they need new, listen, this is a good one. We had a fender bender not too long ago. The insurance agent was taking care of it. And she said, by the way, do I need to quote, I don't know if you guys have life insurance or not, but do I need to quote you and your husband a life insurance policy? And just the way she did it did not come across like she was selling. She's been so helpful helping us get this resolved. It was just like helpful. And I told my wife, wow, that was brilliant. That was so brilliant how she did that. And it was smart and it was good. And I don't feel like it's that random text blast I keep getting trying to sell me something, right? But of course, she's going to make a commission if she sells us life insurance, right? She doesn't even know our insurance needs. We don't have our insurance with all one company. But but still, it was very polite, almost kind of us to ask us if she could sell us another product the way she did it. And it's because she had the right heart in the process. So you can't get on the phone and talk to everybody. 1 or 2 social media avenues is huge, and an email list. Everyone should have an email list. And I actually think email's more important than text lists and text broadcasts. There's a lot of technology out there that will help you do text. I think email is more important because you can send personalized messages through email, even short 3, 4, 5 sentences. You can send, during the holidays, you can talk about what's going on. If your company is raising money for a certain charity, you can put 5 or 6 sentences. A text is sometimes too short to convey what you want to convey to them. I don't think you should send your customers super long emails most of the time, but periodically it's a good idea to send them a longer email. I don't want to get email marketing is off this topic, but I'm going to talk about email marketing for a brick and mortar based businesses here in the future on another video. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up. Here's what I want you to think about. How to increase your A, understand what your customer lifetime value is. B, how to increase your customer lifetime value. Are there other products and services that you can provide to your customers that they're going to get a benefit out of, that they're willing to pay more for potentially? Also, can you add a service on top of what you're currently doing and charge a little bit more? That's important as well. That's always an option that we didn't really discuss, as opposed to just adding additional services. The second part is increase customer communication with the goal of building relationships with your customers, having good relationships with your customers, communicating that you care about your customers, and your customers will reciprocate that care for your business. Social media is a great way to do that. Find 1 or 2 social media platforms that you love to communicate on. Set up an email list. If you don't know how to do that, I'll be getting to you on that. And I'll be talking to you. What do you want to send out to your customers, for example? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, I want you to build your business and grow your business. If you want more tips and tricks or content like this, if you appreciate this content, hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. And one more thing. If you have any questions about customer lifetime value or increasing your customer lifetime value, put them down in the comments. Please put them down in the comments. And if I will do my best to respond to your questions or comments. If it's a detailed response, then we can always set up an appointment or we can work together and coach together. Each week I'm setting aside a couple of hours, about 4 hours that I'm willing to be able to set aside for any coaching appointments or whatever, to be able to work with you a little bit more closer and just to be able to, even if it's just talking about your business and brainstorming your business. And by the way, if I don't think I can help you out in some way, I'm not going to charge you, just so you know that. I will refund you if I don't think I'm able to actually help you out. But most of you have small businesses, you have growing businesses, and you're wanting to brainstorm what you can do, then I feel confident I'm able to help you do that. If you're a solopreneur, if you're an online business, a mom and pop brick and mortar type business, I'm pretty confident that I can help you flesh out some ideas, give you some things to test, and I can coach you through being able to increase your customer lifetime value. Thank you so much for watching this video. I want to help you, and I hope this video has helped you.